Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, June 7. Let's take a look at our economic calendar for the week. First of all, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but if you need a spot to check the Fed meetings outside of the Econo Day calendar, because what the Econo Day calendar is just gives us a look at the week. It doesn't give you further out. It's something that you have to pay for. So we're trying to keep the resources contained in what we have to lay out as far as paying for other services. So in order to do that, just come on over to federalreserve.gov, and then this is the Board of Governors in the Federal Reserve System. So this is the FOMC committee. This is the meetings, and here's the calendar, right? So here's you click over here on meeting calendars and information. We obviously are in the year 2021. Scroll down, you can see here June 15th and 16th. Meeting is associated with summary of economic projections. That makes this meeting more noteworthy, just like it would in September and just like it does in December. So keep this on your list. So next week is going to be interesting. I don't know obviously what's going to be said or what information they're gonna come out with, but right now the main theme is inflation, and we should probably continue to be focused on inflationary types of themes. So that being said, let's take a look at the rest of the economic calendar. So today, you're going to have ISM manufacturing. What else is of note this week? Jobless claims and the ADP report, employment report on Thursday. And on Friday, you're going to have JPOW speaking again. So they're kind of getting us wound up. And then, of course, the employment situation, getting us wound up. You've got all these other Fed guys talking, getting us wound up to roll into the meeting next week. Keep that in mind as you're looking at your longer term trading. Just have that in the back of your mind that there could potentially be some more volatility. That being said, let's take a look at ES. Surprise, surprise, right? So we continue to just kind of grind a little higher. You had a nice day on Friday, a bounce off of the 21 and a nice bullish closing candle. Today you're opening above that. You had some in the after hours. Obviously you came down. You ate up about half of that move in the after hours. You were above the 8. You didn't have anything of note that you bounced off of, but it did bounce. You can kind of lean back to this high back in April 29th. But what we're going to do is it looks like it's either going to challenge these old highs today and give us some activity, or we just continue to chop and you'll have a range to trade again. So again, just keeping with that theme of it's probably better to be an active participant from a scalp standpoint or from a day trade standpoint. Usually what we're seeing is in the mornings we're getting some activity. So you've got the 8 here as support, the 21 as support, 2 anchored VWAPs, one from the old high, one from the old low. And these are the most recent high and most recent low. And they both kind of are converging in a very similar spot, and it's just above the 50. Those are your areas to keep in back of mind as areas for bounce if you see some type of a pull. And then you've got the year-to-date anchored VWAP down at 39.65.25. So taking a look at the RSI CCI on the ES from that standpoint, let's take a look at the ES on the daily here. Obviously, I've got the old line, which we drew last week, keeping it there, because there's really, the ranges are pretty tight. This is where I'm going to use the other part of the range. I'm going to go back to this old high, which is 429, and I'm just going to go ahead and use this 42.12.31 area. Let's just go ahead and put a 42.30. There we go. And we'll just use that. So I'm going to zoom in on this RSI CCI. Starting to show that we're, a little hot. You would expect that close to the highs. I don't know what we're going to get today. Zooming in on, sorry, let's start with the 15-minute. Zooming in on the 15-minute and coming in a little closer. So we were using this area as an area, the 4190 area. I might move this a little bit further up, and yeah, lo and behold, we already have that in there that we just drew. So from a day range, I kind of like this area. Sorry, let me blow this up a little bit more here. So if you're going to be trading ES or SPY, these are areas that I think you'd keep in mind. I'd set alerts just to know if they're there. If you're trading something else that does move with the S&P, you're going to want to know if we're reaching these areas. And you know, RSI, CCI coming in a little bit. I'm going to look for this to hinge back down if we're going to have some pull here in the open. And you guys know that Mondays can be kind of a little wonky. So here we have looking at the 5-minute. What I do is maybe come in a little closer to this being the low, just a little bit higher than where we're at. So you might want to mark this area, this 42, 14, 12 area. And then on the upside, the opening candle from the after hour session. And we're just about there. Your RSI and CCI are both kind of pivoting, hinging down with a little bit of decreasing volume, but I'd be more looking more at the profile of volume on the daily and not on the 5-minute chart. So that's going to be your range. I'd go ahead and set alerts at those areas. Obviously, if we looking like we want to break through here today, we see a lot when this happens that you see some type of a pull. When you get that type of a move in the morning, let's see what we get. I don't know what we're going to get. Friday was strong, so let's see if we get follow through or if we get some pullback here off of the open, and we'll see if we can find some nice trades here this morning. All right, you guys have a great morning, and we'll talk to you in the room.